After all of those times of playing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and after all the DLC for that game, the game's support had finally came to an end. Although despite all these issues, despite the issues and the flaws that it had, the final update of Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged was some bugs and issues that have been addressed. Almost not all of them have all been fixed, but at least the game is still enjoyable nonetheless. However, a lot of people are starting to criticize Milestone for Monster Jam Showdown because there were so many bugs, having so many being issued when everyone was playing Monster Jam Showdown. Even Gamer Alex also said about it too. However, a lot of people were hoping that there will be a Hot Wheels Unleashed 3 coming out. But the problem is that unfortunately the answer is no. There won't be a third Hot Wheels Unleashed game in development. Now it was been revealed that Mattel decided to part ways with Milestone because for the fact that they wanted to go to another publisher and developer, and Mattel already had a publisher in mind, Game Mill Entertainment, the publisher responsible for publishing the likes of Nickelodeon Kart Racers, and some other games, if they're not the best ones or the good ones. But I'm pretty sure you probably recognize them behind Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, as they released that game after returning to Bantam Games to develop it. Likewise, despite this, Mattel and Game Mill happens to be the biggest mistake ever. While I did make a video all about that, Milestone had made Monster Jam Showdown, and they're trying their hardest to release DLC for that game. But the whole main reason why Milestone isn't fixing the bugs and other issues when it was after when Monster Jam Showdown was released, actually, the main reason why it was actually been revealed. The reason behind all this was because apparently Milestone wants to revive its old IP. And what I mean by IP, they actually have a racing IP in mind. Back in the 90s, in 1995, when they were known as Graffiti S.r.I, they released the 1995 game Screamer. Now, what is this Screamer all about? Well, Screamer is a racing game developed by Graffiti, aka Milestone S.r.I, and was been published by Virgin Interactive. Similar to 1993's Ridge Racer from Namco, the gameplay of Screamer is an arcade circuit-based game, or, as you might know it, an arcade-style racing video game. Typical for racing games at the time, and for circuit-based games. Screamer is rather over-exaggerated in gameplay, showing the player what way the car was leaning by showing the vehicle harshly leaning in either direction when at higher speeds. The gameplay also allowed for players to crash, showing an in-game animation of the car flipping and landing on its wheels. The game's handling mechanics are described as rather drifty. The standard mode in Screamer is a 3-lap race against artificial intelligent opponents, with the goal of being first. The game offers various modes: normal game, championship, special modes, and an option for a network game. Due to the age of this title, network races are not available on the original MS-DOS game. In championship mode, it is just basically a Grand Prix mode. Players play through a series of 6 circuit tracks. gaining score based on the position they get at the end of the race. Players start in the Rookie League and work their way through the levels. During development, software rendering is used in the game. Unlike Screamer's third sequels, Screamer 2 and Rally, and Screamer 4x4, that is utilized 3D hardware in case of Screamer 2 after a patch was released. As a result, Screamer was one of the early games to really require a Pentium processor to run at full speed, particularly in SVGA mode. A special 3D accelerated version was available with the number 9 Reality 332FX graphics card, and it utilizes S.r.I Virgin chipset. The game's music was composed by Alistair Brimble. The reception for the game was really warm. Good high speed, replay sequences, smoothly scrolling graphics, selection of vehicles, numerous modes and options, and overall long longevity and low price point. He also, someone noted that the computer-controlled opponents follow a fixed course and would even crash at full speed into the player. In 1996, following the success of Screamer, Graffiti was rebranded as Milestone, we know for today. And Milestone received and developed a sequel to Screamer, Screamer 2. As there is a lot of anticipation for Screamer 2, considering the fact that it's been a year since the first game's released. Now it's relatively the same, but which drew heavily from Namco's Ridge Racer. Screamer 2 have moved towards a rally-oriented style, replacing the 6 high-performance road cars of the previous game with 4 rally cars. The game supports up to 2 players using a split screen and up to 4 players over a network. Another sequel was introduced in 1997, Screamer Rally. That's right. And then there was another sequel, Screamer 4x4. Screamer 4x4 is the first game in the series, which is not developed by Milestone. Instead, was been handed by Cleaver's Games, which debuted in 2000 and in 2001. Now, the whereabouts of Screamer is still unknown if it's going to come back, as Milestone has received game licenses, from other companies. They nowadays have moved away from the traditional arcade style gameplay towards simulation racers. That would change until 2018, when somehow they brought us an arcade racer, which is basically an off-road arcade racer in style, titled Gravel. And then in 2021, they gave us Hot Wheels Unleashed and its sequel, then Monster Jam Showdown, and that was just about it. But that would later soon come into reality, as Milestone / Graffiti S.r.I had decided to go back to its original racing game IP. Now, and that would be, you guessed it, Screamer. Now there was a lot of anticipation and a little bit of Screamer fans who really enjoyed the series. Screamer would return in the form of a futuristic, story-driven racing game featuring animated cutscenes created in collaboration with Japanese animation studio Polygon Pictures. and featuring the voice of the talent of Troy Baker. Screamer will be available on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC in 2026. Combining plot themes of human will, revenge, love, and greed with classic sci-fi imagery, immersive players in the clash between personal desires and external focuses that seek to control them. This journey unfolds through the eyes of a diverse cast of characters involved in a street racing tournament organized by a mysterious figure. As it was from IGN's post. Almost all developers really abandoned the arcade racer genre. Despite the fact that we already have a few developers making arcade racers, like Codemasters Cheshire, who made Onrush and Dirt 5, Milestone is actually caring about the arcade racing genre. Dragon Shark really said it at best, as only Milestone is caring about the arcade racing genre, or just outright racing games in general. Likewise, it just gave me the cyberpunk vibe, though. I looked at the trailer, and while I cannot show it to you guys because Milestone may claim the video, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Now, a lot of people are really impressed by the trailer, as this is going to be a really good idea. One user said that this is something new from Milestone, as the user knew they can get out of licensed game hell. Remember and don't forget, when Milestone made Hot Wheels Unleashed, they used a Hot Wheels license, and by later they just lost the Hot Wheels license for something else. Oh, yeah, we all may know that things can't last forever, as we already know what happened with THQ. They lost the Hot Wheels license, as Mattel wanted to switch publisher and developers in favor to see how they can manage Hot Wheels games. While it is a disappointment to see that there won't be an Unleashed 3 sequel for the Hot Wheels gaming genre, at least it's fun seeing that Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged is a still hyper fast paced arcade style racing game, taking inspiration from Speed Racer and MotorStorm. Remember the lateral dashing and the double jumps. And also, during the Unleashed 2 Turbocharged trailer, seeing Twin Mel jumping to avoid Night Shifter knocking Twin Mel off the race course was seriously giving me the Speed Racer vibe. Really, it was. As the side shunting really somehow traces back to the Hot Wheels Bash Arena intro, when Evil Twin and Muscle Tone were sideswiping each other, though. Pretty impactful. Also, the lateral dashing, which made its grand return after Velocity X. Was a serious achievement to bring a retro element callback from that 2002 video game. Despite there are no power-ups, at least Unleashed 2 Turbocharge has somehow sort of brought back the vehicular combat in the Hot Wheels video game genre, as it's still being marked vehicular combat, considering that you have to knock your opponents out of the way. The new Screamer game will come out in 2026, and everybody's saying to wishlist it now. So that means we're all about to wait for Screamer to come out. Mixed opinions wise, some people are saying that Some people are saying that the new Screamer game will not have anything to do with the 1995 release. I mean, what on earth? It's an old IP, and Milestone just wants to revive it and refurbish it and revamp it with a new purpose, much more futuristic, and much more depth into the game. But opinions are opinions, and we gotta respect people's opinions on it. I really hope Milestone continues to develop this new Screamer reimagined game. Thank you guys all for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.